Hey campers, I'm Brad.
And I'm Jess.
From Miles from Missouri. Today we're going to go over a few things that we have from this year's travels.
We're going to share everything that we did in 2022 and kind of give you a recap on what our favorite things were and what we would love to do again.
Most importantly though, is at the end we'll cover where we're headed next.
So stick around.
If you like this content, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, all of that stuff. You know what to do. We're a budget-friendly channel. Everything we do, we try to keep family-oriented, family-friendly.
That's what allows us to travel as much as we do to the places that we do, sticking to a budget.
First, let's figure out where we have been.
So our stats for 2022 are, we drove 2,222 miles.
4 states, 4 national parks, 1 place by flight.
And we slept in 10 different locations.
So let's go over what we have done.
We have 7 different categories that we want to share with you today on what we did in 2022 and where we traveled.
Let's just burn through these real quick. Number 1.
This is most budget-friendly location that we visited.
What do you have?
I have Hocking Hills, Ohio. That place was not only amazing, but there is so much to do in that area in the state park that's free. Hiking, fishing. We visited the John Glenn Astronomy Park, which was completely free. That was amazing and a lot of fun.
Real quick, this is kind of a rant, but not really a rant. Hocking Hills State Park is extremely budget friendly because there's not much else around. You can't just quickly go to McDonald's to get something to eat. And because it forces you to bring everything with you, it's budget friendly. You know what you're spending right up off the bat. And once you get there, everything's basically free.
Yeah, and there's plenty to keep you busy during your stay.
Oh, there's hikes galore. Everything is beautiful. It's like a different world.
So most budget-friendly location for us in 2022 was definitely Hocking Hills State Park.
Yes.
So the second category would be what our favorite hike was.
So off of number 1 comes number 2 was Cronkle's Hollow. Now, this is a very controversial one for me because it is where I wrecked the drone. But I knew going up that it was sketchy with the drone, because there was 0 GPS and everything else. But I knew that it would be worth it either way. And even though I wrecked the drone and caused like $100 and something worth of damage to a $300 drone, it was worth it. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's super family friendly. 90% of the trail is paved. The last section is like dirt packed and rocky, but it still was easy enough for Zoe to do. She had no trouble navigating. It has a quick payoff for the kids, which is something we always look for when we're hiking with the girls to keep them interested.
Yeah. If you are hiking with kids, 4, 5, 6 mile hikes aren't really a thing without constant payoffs because they have to have something they're looking forward to. Cronkle's Hollow was all of it. I
it was amazing. And then it looks like we were in another world. Like I felt like I was on the set of Jurassic Park.
Oh, for sure. That's what I mean. I had to take my drone up. It wasn't like... It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
It features rock formations, little caves, and also a waterfall at the end, which
waterfall
was spectacular.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, just picturesque. But let's get past that real quick because next one's my favorite. Okay.
Okay, what's the next one?
Food.
Favorite foods. Now, we ate a lot of things and we went a lot of places, so narrowing this down was really, really difficult. It's funny that both of our favorite places came from the same trip.
For me, I mean, they were right next to each other, too. That's the worst part, is they're next door to each other. The 600-degree pizza and Mikey V's tacos down in Georgetown, both of them are an absolute must-do. I preferred the pizza.
I preferred the tacos.
Both were, the brisket taco, there was, oh my God.
We got the birria, we tried their homemade guacamole, and then at the pizzeria, we tried the Meridian Hive mead, which is made in Austin, so that was locally made. Amazing, one of our new favorite drinks.
That pizzeria changed my life, okay? I am now ordering pizza with hot sauce across the top of it. Like, I now go to our pizza places up here, and I'm like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Because... it changed my life.
Both of our favorite food locations came from Georgetown, Texas. Next would be our favorite national park location. Yep. So I asked the girls this question, actually, which one was their favorite. We visited 4, one in Dayton, Ohio, one in Waco, Texas, Smoky Mountain National Park in Tennessee, and then we have a national forest that we visited here in Missouri.
This question is important to ask your kids. And the reason is because I'm making memories all the time, but what memory did they make that they're going to hold on to when they get older?
Right. So they said top of the list for them would be Smoky Mountain National Park. We have been there before, but this trip was much more detailed than
also,
the first time.
This trip involved bears. We saw bears and all of that stuff.
We did see bears for the first time. So, I mean, that's a huge memory for them to have. And then runner-up for national park location would be Waco Mammoth National Monument.
Yeah.
That was just super cool. We've never seen anything like that before, so.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like that. That was worth it for the time that it took compared to the price that it was, compared to all of it. I mean, it was a great half a day tops spot.
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So next up is the biggest surprise, right? So what one did we go to knowing that it would be cool, but didn't realize how cool it was going to be? Probably Dayton. The National Aviation Heritage Museum,
yes.
Whatever. That place was amazing. The Wright Brothers Museum, effectively, it's where they had their bicycle shop. I didn't expect that to be so awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of authentic memorabilia too, like their printing press and like the rooms that they actually did their printing in, and their first bicycle shop. I mean, I feel like I didn't know a lot about that before we went.
Right.
But now it's just like, wow, like that was a huge part of our history.
Right. We came away with a lot. Probably that's the place we came away with gaining the most knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dayton, Ohio, best surprise.
Yep.
Okay, number one memory you won't forget after a year.
Oh.
I'll
always remember the observatory.
Yeah.
John Glenn
Astronomy Park in Hocking Hills.
Yeah, and once again, free.
Yes.
And that's kind of our MO. That's the budget part.
Yeah, for sure.
That was probably the coolest thing. That guy, the director, he was so over the top with just excited about everything. And when you're learning from someone that's that excited about whatever it is, you learn. You soak it in.
For sure. Yeah, and we got to use that giant $2 million telescope.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first time they had opened it back up since COVID. We didn't know that was happening that night. We just happened to be there.
Yeah, that was... we lucked out.
And we got to see the two colliding galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the details, like how many...
It was like
whatever
27,000 light years away.
Yeah, but we got to look through this telescope and see them.
Yeah,
and that was...
that was probably for me... That is something that even when I'm older, I will remember I went to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Mine would also be bears.
Yeah, well.
So, I mean, I've always wanted to see bears, and this was the first time we ever saw them in Smoky Mountain National Park.
Bears in the wild.
Right. Bears in the wild, not the zoo. Like, real bears.
Real ones, not the ones open in Coke bottles.
Authentic bears. It was cool for me to see them, like, foraging and interacting with each other, but it was cool for me to see the girls seeing them for the first time.
Yeah.
That was really neat.
Yeah, their faces lighting up was super awesome.
Yeah. So for me, the answer is always bears.
All right.
So our last category.
The place you would go back to. If we had to drop everything and leave right now and pick one place that we were going to go to, for you, what would it be?
Georgetown.
Yep, sold.
Georgetown is just authentic.
It's not overran by corporations. The downtown is by the people that actually still work at those stores.
Right.
That is what amazed me the most about Georgetown. Like, you go to Gatlinburg and then you realize half of those stores are owned by giant corporations or whatever. Like, downtown square of Georgetown is just, it's beautiful.
Stunning. We could not get enough. We fell in love with the area. We fell in love with the people. And we would pick up and go back right now.
Also, I fell in love with the $26 a night full electric and water. That was nice.
The campground. Jim Hog Campground, yeah.
Jim Hog Campground.
We have a review to that I'll link up top too, but...
Yeah. So
that's kind of like our overview recap of 2022.
So now that we know where we've been, let's see where we're going. If you've made it this far in the video, let's talk about what's next.
We've been kind of quiet on our channel since Christmas, but that doesn't mean that we haven't been busy. So there have been a couple major changes. Brad took on a new role at work,
Sure.
which is requiring more attention from him, which means we're not going to have as much flexibility for traveling whenever and wherever we want, like we did before. We also had some wind damage on our roof of the camper.
Yep, $12,000 roof later.
Yes. They replaced the entire roof, and they actually found additional water damage that didn't have to do with the wind damage.
But
That we didn't know was there, so
we're good to go.
we're good now. Yeah, new roof, so we're finally set up
Yeah. Yep, completely new.
to start the spring and summer off right.
Yeah, buddy. With that being said, we are planning some epic road trips. So, first is, we're going to stay in Missouri. I know we're miles from Missouri, but this time we're going to be miles in Missouri.
Yeah.
So, we're headed down.
Route 66. Route 66?
Road.
I've always said Route 66. So we're going to take the entire span of Route 66 in Missouri from St. Louis to Joplin. With St. Louis being our hometown, Route 66 has always been kind of in the background for us.
It's always been there. It's like when you live here and the arch is just, yeah, it's the arch.
Yeah, right. So we're kind of excited to start at one end of Missouri and go all the way to the other end and see what there is and what kind of history Route 66 has to offer for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we do have one big out-of-state trip planned over 4th of July. We are not going to go into detail about that because it's a surprise and I want you guys to stick around and find out. So
I can't wait to find out.
I'm really excited.
All right. Well, I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover. I think it is time to wrap this video up. So, if you like what you see, hear, whatever, hit the like, subscribe button. For everybody that's been here, thank you for sticking around.
Yes, thank you.
We are like this close to 1,000 subscribers. Like, that's crazy to me.
At the time of this video, we have 998 subscribers.
That's just amazing. So,
Amazing.
thank you guys very much. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you guys at the next mile marker.
Bye.